Protesters arrest over attack on the home of police commander released on bail. Rape victim during the 2000 mass students demonstration narrates ordeals before the ongoing public hearing of Gambia's TRRC. Open arms migrant ship has disembarked in the Italian port city of Lampedusa after 19-day wait. These and more coming on your way on The World Today. Hello, I am Deifatu Bangre. It's 40 after 1 p.m. in the Gambia. You're watching The World Today. We start with our first story. For the testimony of Jongla Seni Senghor before the TRRC this week, the Commission has shifted attention to the students' massacre in April 2000. The revelation covered the shooting by soldiers to death up to 13 students who went out to condemn the killing of a student by fire service officers. Details of today's sitting featuring Abdukarim Jame will come in our later newscast. The junior school student who was raped by a member of the paramilitary in April 2000 has narrated her traumatic experience before the TRRC. The girl, who came to the urban areas to participate in a national inter-school athletic competition, said nothing was ever done regarding her situation, despite it having reported to police. More of her story follows in this report. Binta Mane, a grade 7 student of Brikamaba Upper Basic School at the time of the students' demonstration in April 2000, was raped by a man in the Gambia Security Service. In her testimony before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, Ms. Mane said she fell victim to a man in uniform while she was in town to represent her school in the annual Inter-School Athletic Championship at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. Even after reporting the matter to police with the help of her teacher, she said no effort was done. The police, she said, promised to contact her, but that was never fulfilled. She informed the commission that one of her teachers in the name of Mr. Ba accompanied her to the RBTH hospital, where a doctor confirmed her story.
At that point, he assaulted you. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Because I am fenkele. I am born the banko tole. Anyapitan kam force okon.
He fell me on the ground and he imposed himself on me forcefully.
How did you feel at that point?
Ako tembo iketa nyadile ila hadamayato. I am fenkele. I am niyo kuyale.
It saddened me.
Did you feel any pain at that point?
Ako fodum ibalajato fana ye diminne bango tembo. Mbalo diminne.
Yes, my body pained.
Can you tell us where you felt pain?
Dimingunying ibalo minto mafane ye diming. Mbalo mi en dimenkai.
Can you say that again, Madam Witness?
Afodorong damen ye diming mandinkolu kakilito to la sururato wa ketanya onyanda afodorong. Namusu yatolo.
My private part.
Did you sustain any injuries in your private part?
Ako fodung ila musu ya anatabara majele bang. Kantu wato mina after yembula wato ata yellow bolana.
Yes, because when he released me, blood was flowing.
I
was returning, crying along the way.
At this point, Binta testified that she could not continue her school career and was eventually compelled to relocate from her village due to societal discrimination.
What happened after you dropped out of school? What happened to you?
ako mune nata kela brita ta han fo ye fonyo karambunto tala
ni dalilo me atena ni minketanna
Is what happened to me
wala na mbota school
is the reason why I left school.
mvama nata forcer pour kam futundi
My father now forced me to marry me off.
manna na lafi o kew nyinna
I did not appreciate the man,
after ntarra jeng koto ma wala fo nata na makoy
so I was there. Then my elder brother came and assisted me,
after woni nati nanja
and he brought me here.
ntarra bulu kombo janata ndundi fongodo training school oto
I was with him here in the combo, and then he enrolled me in a training school.
after kabru no complete nata na sai anata na mfutundi kote
But when I completed the training school, I returned home, and then they married me off.
Do you recall how old you were when you were married off?
ako fo hakilo sa mutale wato isiyo e sanji jelle sibri be futun dila
wato na nyum ko kedan after kola kabri o ko kedan nata school bula don fa nata mfutundi
It was after the incident, and after I left school, that was when my father married me off.
So as a result of what was done to you, against your will, the consequence was that you had to drop out of school and you were married off at a very young age.
ako wolem nyinti ko men ketela ay mantoro men sabu ma wolem nyinti ye karambungu bula e ikoro kan wokola ifama fanannate mutake futundi fo wolem ba
Yes.
And you told us that it was your brother who helped you to get out of that marriage.
andu enyum foko ikoto ma wolinate makoy kabo wo futuwo kono kabona nje
Yes.
For her, it takes courage to sail over the pain of trauma associated with rape. As she awaits the course of justice, her testimony is expected to serve as a warning to men in uniform that their role is to protect and not to perpetrate. It could be recalled that April 10 to 11 students' protest 19 years ago was in connection to alleged beating to death of Ibrahim Abari by fire service officers in Brikama, Western Region. The event resulted to the shooting of 13 students and a journalist and raping of Binta Mane, who was 13 years old at the time. For iAfrica News, Ndei Fatu Bangura. That was Binta Mane giving her testimony at the TRRC. In addition to the shooting to death of 13 students during a protest in April 2000 in the Kanifing municipality, soldiers pointed guns on those who held a solidarity march in the other bank of the Banjul River. A grade 10 student at the time had one of his legs burnt by bullets. More on this story.
Saini Senghor, a survivor of gunfire during the demonstration of students on the 10 to 11 April 2000, recalled the narrow escape he made when security forces shot him on the leg. He was among students who staged a solidarity protest in the North Bank region upon their knowledge of killing of their colleagues in the Greater Banjul areas. Saini, who was in the 10th grade at the SL Senior School at the time, told the Truth-Seeking Commission on Tuesday that armed soldiers fired on them.
After they left the GPA when we come in. Around SL before the health center, there is a police checkpoint. Just about 100 or 200 meters away from the checkpoint, we saw security personnel standing on a line.
Tell us what kind of security personnel you saw.
These were police officers. And on the line, they were holding guns, that is AK-47s.
Do you remember how many of them there were? Can you give an estimate?
There will be more than two, because it is a checkpoint, and if you have more than 5 to 6 police officers at a checkpoint, obviously it's not normal. So there were more than 5, I would say up to 10.
Please continue.
When we saw them standing, we halted. Then they started shooting. But when they start shooting, they did not shoot directly at us at the first place. They shoot as we hear the gunshots. When I turned to run, I felt something hit my leg.
What leg did you feel something?
My right leg. That is the outside of my thigh. Because I turned to run, obviously I faced them, so.
Many other students were seriously injured. The April 10 to 11 students' protest 19 years ago was triggered by alleged beating to death in the hands of fire service officers in Brikama, Western Region. The event resulted to killing of 13 students plus one journalist and raping of a 13-year-old student by the military. For iAfrica TV, I am Fatmata Jaju.
That was Fatmata Jaju filling that report. Coming up after the break, dozens of youths arrested at the anti-crime unit of the Gambia Police Force has been freed on bail. We will be back in a moment.
Fear over electoral rigging rocks Zimbabwe as the country.
Yesterday, after listening to Prime Minister May's assessment of the state of the negotiation,
why it is our diocesan patron feast day is because the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption is dedicated.
Do not have it in their mindset or in their psyche that we are playing against Algeria.
57 vehicles, you are giving it to parliamentarians. Where is the source? The parliamentarians themselves should challenge that.
Yes, APRC and GDC no opposition. All other parties that doesn't concern you people, either UDP or NRP or PPP, they are all in the government. Man, dama against ID card mu nekk $450. Man mosuma si àndata du mosuma sa ànda.
Yow xaalis boobu nu mu fa ñëwee loolu nga war a njëkk a laajte because social security institution doo xam ne social security warut a ñàkk a xaalis yëfi profit social security loolu waxtaani banda la loolu dafa war a automatique.
Baro lu ma ko ñaan mooy na wàcce 3 years am su demee 5 years dafa am problème leadership bu fi bàyyi dafa bon right now amul direction bu correct réew mi ñëpp seen am na disappointment si nguuri Barrow.
Benn nit munta jagal réew da ngaa def li nga war a def bàyyi keneen ñu continuer
Welcome back. We now continue with our remaining stories. Dozens of people arrested over the burning down of the home of commander of the anti-crime unit of the Gambia Police Force has been freed on bail bonds. After over 2 days in custody, there is no official confirmation as to their charges, although it was suggested that they are answerable to willful damage of properties. Among them is music rapper Killer Ace. More we go with the story.
Musician Ali Cham, who is also a human rights activist, arrested with dozen others over the weekend, was released on bail. The rapper, better known as Killer Ace, was asked to report to the police headquarters in Banjul on Tuesday, from where he was requested to continue reporting to his nearest police station of Talinding. His lawyer, Patrick Gomez, had expressed disappointment on the police treatment of the rapper, who he said was transferred from one detention center to another. Prior to his police bail, his lawyer explained some foul play.
Upon his arrest, we went to see as lawyers as to how the conditions were and why he was arrested. He was first transferred to Talinding police station. Then apparently we tried to secure bail. It was difficult to secure bail for him. And then we realized that they said that they can't release him on bail because of orders. Then he was transferred to Kairaba police station. My opinion, my legal point of view is that is just a general rule. You understand? International law has it, even domestic law has it, that you can't do that if you have no basis to detain someone for 72 hours. It's just to guide you in cases where there are investigations going on, or perhaps there is a need to detain you for one justifiable reason or the other. Then they can do that for 72 hours and nothing more than that. But apparently, this is a situation, so they can't even. No one can even tell you why he's been detained for more than for this long. So my point is, I'm not very happy with the manner in which he's been detained. If they feel that he is guilty of any crime, let them just charge him quickly, and then he doesn't have to be the target of any. That has to be a target or any other thing. So he's a Gambian and enjoy rights as any other person in this country. Yes.
Killer Ace was surrounded with 20 others by police in connection with a protest causing the destruction of the home of police anti-crime unit commander during last month's protest. Police confirmed the number to be 12, who are all freed on bail. Lawyer Gomez said his client has not been issued with any charge sheet even after he reported to police on Tuesday. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.
That was Amadou Kante giving details of that. As trade war intensifies between the United States and China, the issue of mobile phone technology has become additional ingredient in the pursuit of individual interests. A telecommunication expert in the U.S. says that the Chinese Huawei is found in the center but in the advantage of the United States. Fatma Jaju has more.
A senior analyst of the United States telecommunication industry said Chinese tech giant Huawei has been caught up in the trade war between US and China, and it's being used as a bargaining chip by the US government. Roger Edna, founder and lead analyst of the Recon Analytics and Research, made the comments following reports that the US Department of Commerce will extend temporary general license to Huawei for another 90 days.
Well, Huawei already said that it has stockpiled critical components and has them in stock for at least a year. The importance is not only around the physical components that Huawei needs, but also the software licenses, especially around Google Android. And with new devices coming out before the Christmas season, it's absolutely critical for Huawei to be able to use Android. And the 90-day extension gets us right to November 15, and anything that will be launched before that. So the new Android devices from Huawei will have Android, actually.
The United States added Huawei and its affiliates to the Bureau of Industry and Security Entity List on May 16, barring the Chinese telecom company from U.S. communication networks. 3 days later, it delayed the move by 90 days effective from May 20th through August 19. Enna said for the U.S. government, Huawei has become a key bargaining chip in its trade talks with China.
The Trump administration uses Huawei as a pressure tool and going right to the wire with extending the permit another 90 days and then another 90 days. It creates a lot of uncertainty and anguish on both sides, and especially for the markets that are looking at this and the possible repercussions.
In the view of the senior analyst, Americans are not feeling the effects of the trade war yet, but they would be hurt if tariffs on Chinese imports further increase. Meanwhile, U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said in July alone the agency had received around 50 applications from 35 American companies to waive the ban on Hawaii. Analysts say Hawaii is creating some kind of iron army to prevent itself from getting hurt by U.S. sanctions. In its new Harmony OS operating system,
in Egypt, a mosque which reportedly hammered a road construction was demolished in Alexandria on Monday, with its debris seen scattered and heavy machinery working at the site. The mosque was reported to have been built without a license, with Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi quoted in media on Monday, saying that places of worship should be located in areas assigned by the state. The road where the mosque stood since 1985 is expected to be completed in several months. It is reported that the Sidi Abu Ilash al-Zukani Mosque will be rebuilt upon completion of the road. The 83 migrants rescued at sea some 19 days ago were allowed to disembark from the open arms rescue ship in the Italian island of Lampedusa in the early hours of today after a Sicilian prosecutor ordered the ship to be seized and its passengers evacuated. As you can see in your screens, footage is showing activists cheering as the ship docked at Lampedusa port and the migrants disembarked, received medical attention and left the port in vans. The open arms spent 6 days anchored off the coast of Lampedusa as the Italian government, led chiefly by Interior Minister Matteo Salvini, had refused docking permission for the ship since Thursday, causing several migrants to attempt to reach the island by swimming, while some were allowed off the ship for medical reasons. The open arms vessel had been waiting for 19 days to be able to disembark in a safe port, rescuing the 83 migrants from the Mediterranean. The change came less than a day after Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte announced his resignation. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in this hour on the World Today's Bulletin. More on these and other stories, log on to our website, iafrica.tv. I am Defatuk Bangura once again. Bye for now.
Fear over electoral rigging rocks Zimbabwe as the country.
Yesterday, after listening to Prime Minister May's assessment of the state of the negotiations,